Hey everyone, and welcome to another video. So today we're at Suzuka in the CAYMAN GT4. So this is actually my first attempt at this combination. I haven't qualified brilliantly. I kind of messed up one of my qualifying laps. So we're down in about 7th, but let's see what we can do from there. So just coming onto the main straight here, trying to give a bit of a distance to the cars ahead. I don't want carnage in turn 1. And here we go. Oops. Okay, so not the best start for me. I did want to leave a bit of a gap, but I think I might have dropped off slightly. Although actually, this isn't too bad. I've got space all around me, so that's exactly what I want. And so I've put my... Whoa, this guy's just diving up the inside of me on the right. I was going to say, I've put my brake bias forward for the start, because the tyres at the start of this race feel really, really slippery. Like there's cars all over the place at the moment. So I think everybody's probably struggling a bit on their tyres, and really we just need to get through the first lap without any incidents, let the tyres get up to temp, and then we should be good. Fortunately, I've got this guy right on my bumper. Even though I know that I'm quicker than him, he's just trying to get past me any way he can. He dived up the inside on turn 1, and he's just had another look there. And to be honest, he's making me feel a little bit nervous.
Okay, Paul, hold your nerve, just keep it smooth, no mistakes.
When you have somebody like that that's just trying to so aggressively get past on the first lap, it usually means they're going to make a mistake and crash into you. The whole pack ahead of me feel pretty slow right now, so it's not like I can go any quicker. Basically with all these cars ahead, he's just got to settle into it, give it a lap, let the tyres actually get up to temp. As you saw there, I had another high speed slide, so definitely need to let these tyres bed in a bit first. And he's actually so speaking of which, the guy's completely lost it behind me. So as I said, you have to let your tyres get up to temp, and for whatever reason he thought he could win the race on the first lap, ignored that advice, and he's gone off. Thankfully he didn't take me out, so now I think we just got to settle into this. 2 cars up ahead having a bit of a battle, but I think they've swapped places okay. So the guy that's on P1 has insane pace. In qualifying he did a lap time that I couldn't even dream of in quali. As I've sort of said before, I don't know if people have a bit of a hack at the moment for getting their tyres up to temperature for quali. I did see something in the patch notes of iRacing that said they're actually going to implement something that stops that, hopefully. But yeah, even in the race pace, like we're on to lap 2 and he's done a 2:09. So once again his tyres must have switched on immediately. Yeah, I don't know what's the deal there. Hopefully iRacing fix whatever that is that lets some people do that. It's probably a bug in the physics. Okay, so we're definitely quicker than this guy ahead of us. One of the tricky parts on here is actually just trying to get past people, and he's made a slight mistake there. So can we just potentially get up the inside? Nope, let's back out. So I'm kind of conscious the tyres still probably aren't great. Take an opportunity if I can get it, but at the same time probably better just to wait for the tyres to grip up. He's gone slightly wide here. Can I just sneak out the inside? I am alongside him.
He's still there.
Not quite got the good exit there, so we're about even.
Still there.
I do have the inside side, so yeah. For this corner, I've set my brake bias back a little bit more. I'm going to just try to turn in a bit late.
Clear right.
And yeah, that's got me the got me to cut through, so that's good. That's one place down.
Nice move, mate.
Just go really defensive here, make sure there's no way that you can get back through, and then if we get a good exit, hopefully we can drop them off now. So one thing I'm finding in this car on this track is by putting the brake bias back a bit, it does help the car turn in. It does make it a bit unstable in a couple of places though, but I'm certainly using it to try to get the front to turn in a bit. So for example on this corner here, get that nose onto the apex and then you can kind of power out of it. And equally through these, having it pull the front in on the brakes really helps. As you can see, I'm just gaining on these guys ahead quite easily. I presume they probably just have their brake bias set as normal.
The gap to please behind is now 0.6.
So we're in 6th. I'd like to make a few more places if we can. Looks like these guys are swapping position. I don't know if they've taken each other out. Could be an opportunity here.
Right, on your right.
And I think potentially they've slowed both of themselves up and just let me through. So yeah, that shows you the impact sometimes of fighting with others. They've completely neglected the fact that I was there, and I've just gone straight through and gained 2 places. So another corner that I'm finding really benefits from setting the brake bias back is this corner coming up. Really helps the front tyres actually turn in. As you can see, even there, it's still understeering, but certainly when the tyres start gripping a bit more, it really helps. The only issue is you've got to make sure that it doesn't impact that tight section there. So you kind of don't really want the brake bias back as far as it is for that small chicane, because it'll end up unsettling the car a bit.
B4.
So I might start trying setting the brake bias backwards for corners like this, get the front end to turn in, and then in other places actually set it forward again.
Gap in front has increased to 3.9 seconds.
So these corners here, a lot of the time it's a bit of a balancing act on the throttle. You don't want to give too much because it'll over-rotate the car. So like there, I wasn't full throttle until I felt like I was kind of out of the corner and could straighten up. If you get on the throttle too early, the car will either push out wide or try to oversteer. Okay, so this car ahead is about 3.5 ahead, so I think we've got to get a bit of a move on, try to catch it up. This section here, quite a tricky one. You want to obviously not lock up your wheels like I did, but really this exit is what it's all about. Getting a really good exit out there and carrying that speed all the way down the straight. It's one of the rookie mistakes that a lot of people make on this track. They either dive in way too shallow into that and they get on the power too early, which pushes that really wide, or they turn in too late. And yeah, the real trick with that one is you sort of go in and then ride over the curb slightly, and quite a late apex to make sure that when you get on the power you can drift it right the way out, and then you can carry the speed all the way through down the straight. And yeah, it's one of the places that's good for overtaking as well. If the car ahead of you doesn't do that, if you do that, you should be able to get the pass. So you can see the car twitches slightly. That probably means that I've maybe got my brake bias back a little bit too far. And actually I might be able to go quicker actually if I hit it a bit further forward. On the other hand, I want the confidence that I know that the car's definitely going to turn in. I'm not going to go steaming in and understeer. So it's one of those sort of compromises. I could probably go faster, but I want to make sure that I definitely get through the corner. I find this is an interesting corner. You really have to kind of just slow the car down and then just get on the throttle. Try not to push too much, either over-rotating the car or understeering in, because both will kind of impact not only the speed through the corner but your exit out of the corner. So over to the right, late apex in. Try to touch that curb and then out to the right, and flat out. There you go. So many people get that wrong. Definitely recommend, as I said earlier, put your brake bias back through there, and then if you can, try to put it forward again for this. You have to be very quick though. But then you can hopefully stabilise the car a bit and actually get through that a lot quicker. And also, if you haven't slid your tyres through the chicane, the exit will be a lot faster as well.
The gap is 2.6 seconds. You've just done a 2:10.7.
So that was a 2:10.7. Not quite the leader's pace, but we're certainly about a second or so, 3/4 of a second up from the guys ahead. So definitely a good way to go. Let's just set another good lap this lap, hopefully. The gap to them is now 2.5. So once again, some of the throttle inputs through there, you'll notice are not flat. Even through this bit here, it's only when you know you're going to get through it do you actually go flat. Sort of struggling through that corner there. It understeers quite badly. I don't really know what the answer is. It's probably a setup issue. But yeah, you don't want to go too fast for it because you will understeer out. Okay, that was a lot better that time. So disregard what I said last time and what I showed last time. Definitely use that as the example. So it slowed the car right down, got onto the apex, and there was actually a slight rotation on the apex from the brakes, and then I was straight on the power and out, which really good. Ooh, unsettling the car slightly, but still trying to get onto that apex and then out to the side. So we're down to 1.4 behind, so we're definitely closing the gap to these guys. Understeery through there, which is not great. Nice and smooth. And on the throttle, and out we go. So I think that was a 210 flat. So almost a 209.
This is exactly what we need.
Car just pushed a little bit wide there. Not ideal, but probably a slight side effect of how hard we pushed on the last lap. But we've definitely gained on them, so we should be able to reel them in now. Always make sure the front end's fully committed before you get on the throttle through that section, otherwise you will understeer. Okay. he'll see me in the mirror and probably feel the pressure. Oops. Slightly a bit late on the brakes there. Luckily he wasn't really right in front of us, so we didn't hit him, but yeah, we dropped off a little bit more than I wanted. Try to get a good exit out of here. Should be able to close the gap, but I don't think we'll be close enough yet.
Left, that's 15 minutes. That's half distance. I think the fuel's going to be tight. You might need to save some. Car right.
So he's gone slightly wide there. I think we're through.
Nice pass.
I don't know if that was a mistake on his part or whether he just knew that we were quicker and kind of left the space. If I was him, that's probably what I'd have done there.
P3.
Okay, so next guy along, second place, is 2.2 ahead. This guy's got slightly higher I rating than the last guy. This guy's got 3.2, so let's see if we can catch him as well.
Now 1.2 seconds.
Good exit. Pushed a little bit wide that time. That's it. If you do nail that, you'll see your delta go down immediately. Okay, it's all about the exit. So the guy in front is now 1.9 ahead.
Half your fuel left.
1.8 ahead, 1.7-ish. So yeah, it just shows getting that good exit really helps. Let's see where we end up after this section. He must have done quite well in that. He sort of maintained the gap. So you have to be slightly careful in this section, especially as the tyres go off. Obviously, using the brake bias backwards, the car will start to want to rotate more and more. So you can either start putting the brake bias back forward again, or you just have to be a bit careful how much brake you use and yeah, just how much you trail it.
Okay, Paul, you're reeling this guy in. The gap's now 1.4 seconds.
Time is coming down. We're 1.2 behind him now. He should start seeing me in his mirror and know that I'm coming. That was a lot better that time, and yeah, we've got him down to 0.9. It shows you just how much difference that corner can make. A lot of people underestimate that corner, thinking it's just a hairpin, pretty basic, but you can see right there we took 0.3 of a second out of him in one corner. It's all about that exit. Get on there. Yep. He's also got quite a good exit by the looks of it as well, so probably equalised, but we are under a second now, so we are in his slipstream. We should catch him a little bit by the end. Perfect, so right behind him now.
That was 2:10.1.
So still doing good times, 2:10.1. It's pretty quick. It's not quite a 2:09, but the leader only did a 2:09.7, so we're not that far off the really fast pace right now.
10 minutes to go. That's 10 minutes left.
Okay, I just have to be careful behind this guy because probably want to take my time to get past him and not rush past. We've still got the time to actually get him. Just crashing into the back of him now. I do wonder almost if he'll just give up the place. He probably doesn't want me to dive up the inside. So once again, I don't know whether he made a mistake or whether he's just let me take that, to be honest, because he probably saw how much I was pressuring him. That said, I think he was flashing his lights a second ago and he might have backed off. You can sort of sometimes wonder when somebody lets you through and then they start attacking. But hopefully if we can just clear off away from him, then it will prove to him that we're quicker.
Stay smooth.
Okay, so we're up to second place.
Loving this, mate. This is perfect. V2. That lap was at 2:11.1.
So the leader is quite far up the road. Probably unlikely going to catch him by the end. His pace is pretty good as well, so the only thing we can hope with him is that he makes a mistake. But even if he made a mistake, he'd probably recoup it with the distance he is. So I think our main focus will be just trying to hold on to this second place. Tyres slightly going off there. Once again, probably should adjust my brake bias, but I think maybe I should just take it a little bit easier, knowing that I'm probably not going to catch the guy ahead. That said, sometimes at times like this, you sort of think, can I improve my lap time? It would be nice to get a 209. We had a 210 flat. So it's sometimes tempting just to try to have a bit of a quali session.
The gap in front is now 17 seconds.
Like we're starting to run a bit low on fuel. so the car will be light. The tyres should still have a bit of life in them. And I think we're going to pull away from the guy behind, so we maybe just try doing a couple of things a bit more aggressively and see if we can
the gap behind
set a better lap time.
4 seconds.
Slight twitch on the top there. I was going to say I felt like using third gear was actually letting you get on the power a bit earlier because it actually turned the car in a bit, but then it drifted around slightly, so
5 minutes to go. You're looking good for a podium.
Not a bad lap, 2:10, but not as quick as earlier. Tyres perhaps slightly going off. Just not quite got the same front end grip. So I'll try to turn in a bit more power on this time, but no, you can see there just what happens if you get on the power too early. Just the front end doesn't grip enough and you go wide, but it's worth trying these things because you never know, the car might just grip enough and then you know that you can go flat out for a corner. That's the whole trick to going faster. It's all experimentation, getting to a certain point where you can consistently do a lap time and then just trying different things. Trying brake later, trying going on the throttle earlier, trying different brake biases, even just trying different gears. Sometimes you'll think that second gear is the quickest way out of a corner, and then actually if you try it in third, just because of the added traction, it actually ends up way quicker. So it's like this corner here. I think once upon a time in other cars I'd probably change down at that point, but it actually unsettles the car and it's way quicker just to leave it in third, go through. So yeah, like obviously in practice sessions you can just do this all day long, but when you've got a bit of a gap in a race, if you're kind of confident you're not going to bin it, you can also experiment. So like that last corner there, I sort of cut a lot more than I normally would. Didn't seem to get a penalty, so that's probably something you could actually do lap after lap. Tried braking a little bit late on this corner, to carry a bit more speed in. And yeah, as you can see, it's just pushed out completely wide. So
you've got 5 minutes of fuel remaining.
Probably where I was braking was already good enough. But yeah, you've got to experiment. You've got to push the boundary to see what you can do and where the time can be found. I don't know if the guy in P1 that's been doing 209s for most of the race, whether he's got a superb setup and maybe that's where his pace is coming from, or whether there's somewhere that I'm leaving time on the table. Unfortunately, unless it's a fixed race, you'll never actually know whether it's the setup or your driving that is actually letting somebody else go faster than you. But the best thing to do is, I find, sometimes watch a fast driver. So obviously you can watch videos like this, or you can actually spectate in the practice, just watch the onboard of somebody that's really fast. And then what I really like to do sometimes is actually just get my car behind theirs, and just drive, if I can keep up, behind the quicker car, and you'll see their braking points, their lines, etc. And sometimes you'll just find time immediately by doing that. Just where your mental brain was saying that the braking point is, suddenly as soon as you follow somebody else, you can actually brake a lot later and you didn't realise. Like this corner here, I think I can probably brake later than I am, but you kind of get into a mental state where you think there's the braking point, that's where I'm going to brake every lap. So just come round, get the checkered flag. Not bad really, considering we started in 7th. I didn't really practice too much. To finish in 2nd is pretty good going, and the fact that I don't think the first was ever on the cards, so yeah, really good race. Really enjoyed that. Awesome. I'll probably try to do another one of these races, but if you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. Thanks.